we're going to talk about the frequency table. Now I'm starting off with some definitions. A frequency table we need when we have a large amount of data. And a frequency table summarizes this large amount of data into classes also called categories. So here's an example of a frequency table I already created where I have my classes and my frequency. I have 5 classes and I listed the frequencies already. Now we need to know certain definitions when we talk about a frequency table. The first definition would be the lower class limit. Now the lower class limit is the smallest number in each class. So with my example that I have here, the lower class limit would be 1, 6, 11, 16, and 21. So let me go over here and write the lower class limits down. We have 1, 6, 11, and 21. Okay, when we later create our frequency table with just data, we also need to find the upper class limits. The upper class limits are the largest numbers of each class. So I'm circling them. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. So the upper class limits 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Not too bad so far. Very important aspect about the frequency table is the width. The width is the difference between consecutive either lower limits or upper limits. So let me show you how this works. The width, if I find the difference, 6 minus 1 is 5. Now if I look at the next consecutive lower limits, you also see that the difference is 5. Next one 5, and so forth, 5. So I can do the same thing with the upper class limits. 10 minus 5, the width is 5. So consecutive lower class limits or upper class limits, they have to have the same difference. So in this case, the width would be 5. Now class boundaries, we use them basically when we want to create a histogram, and these are the numbers that separate the classes without gaps. So, or in other words, when we have decimals. So to find the class boundaries, what you have to do is you have to subtract 0.5 from the lower class limit and add 0.5 to the upper class limits. So here real quick, I have my classes. Now the class boundaries here, what I subtract 0.5 from 1, and I get 0.5, and I add 0.5, which gives me 5.5. Here I would have 10.5, the next one would be 15.5, 20.5, and 25.5. I'm using the class boundaries if I have decimals, or if I want to create a histogram without gaps.